Hi everyone, welcome to my mini lesson of grammar in Gobbets contents. And today I'm going to talk about 5 different sentences. The first one, I will try to describe the events to you. She has always been knocking on my door asking me to do something for her, and I guess I got fed up with it. No one should be surprised. Good day. I shouldn't have been so unkind though. Between you and me, I can say it publicly. It is difficult to stand such a situation. Here, the first thing we have is I will try. This is a will future. It consists of the auxiliary will plus verb infinitive, and here it refers to the future in a neutral way. Then we have describe the events to you. The verb describe. This the transitive verb only allows a prepositional indirect object when it is following the direct object. Describe plus something plus to someone. Then we have she has always been knocking on. It is a present perfect progressive sentence. This kind of sentences refers to a limited period of time, even though they are not taking place at the moment of speaking, and also to actions that may not be completed. The adverb always is often used here and it can indicate habits that are annoying to the speaker. Then we have knocking, which is highlighted. This is related to onomatopoeia. The verb knock is an example of onomatopoeia, as its phonetic shape resembles the sound of knocking on a door. It has experienced a functional shift in which the verb is created by onomatopoeia. Then we have asking me, the verb ask. It can be a transitive verb or a detransitive verb. Ask plus somebody plus to do something. Then we have I got fed up. This is a completed past action. For a completed past action, the verb past simple tense is normally used. Then we have no one would be surprised. Good day. This is an affirmative question tag. This sentence contain negative or restrictive words like this one and require an affirmative question tag at the end. Good day. And also the ed ending in surprised is pronounced as the after a vowel, like surprised. Then we have should plus perfect infinitive in I shouldn't have been so unkind though. Should plus perfect infinitive, this pattern is used to refer an unfulfilled obligation in the past. Then, in this same sentence, we have though. It can be used in two ways, as a subordinating conjunction or as a conjunctive adverb meaning however, as in the example. It can be placed at the end of the sentence or between two parts of the same sentence. Then we have between you and me, between. This preposition is used with two specific items, which are in this case you and me. Then we have I can say it publicly. Say, it is important to note that say may be used without a following indirect object, unlike tell. Then we have in the same sentence, I can say it publicly. Publicly. It is an exception for adjectives ending in IC. To form the adverb, we do not add AL plus LI, but simply add LI to the adjective publicly. Then we have the anticipatory it. It is difficult to stand such a situation. The anticipatory it, these sentences are typically followed by a to plus infinitive, or a dot clause, or a double eight clause. Then finally we have such a situation. Here I would like to highlight that here the pattern is used to emphasize the intent of or degree of something. Then we have the second sentence, which is this soup taste is good. I last tried something so good many years ago. I have not found a similar culinary discovery for ages. Can I ask you for more? And it doesn't cost much either, does it? We have got to visit the restaurant. It is undoubtedly the best one I have ever been to, or at least I think so. Okay, here we have to begin with this soap tastes so good. So here we have an example of present progressive. This tense describes an action happening at the very moment of speaking because he's trying it right now. Then in the next sentence we have the adverb last. Here, last means for the last time and usually appears with past tense, like this one, tried. Then we have the past tense. I last tried something so good many years ago. Okay, here we have a past action. When we talk about a past action, we normally use the past simple, tried, which is past simple here. Then in this same sentence, we have ago. Ago must be used with a past tense, like tried. Then the next sentence, which is I have not found a similar culinary discovery for ages. I have not found. Here we have a past perfect. This here we have a present perfect. Sorry, this tense is used to indicate that an action happened first in chronological order before another action in the past, which is expressed in the past simple. Because first you tried something and then you have not found anything like that since then. And then we have the verb found here in the same sentence. Here I would like to highlight that this is an irregular verb and where the vowel changes from I to OU in the past tense. Find, found, found. Then we have in the next sentence, can I ask you for more? Ask has another typical construction and it is ask somebody plus for something. Like, can I ask you for more? For something, for more. Then we have the next sentence, and it doesn't cost much either. Does it? Okay, so here we have an affirmative question tag as we previously saw. A sentence containing negative or restrictive words require an affirmative question tag, like here. It doesn't cost much either, which is negative. And then we have the affirmative question tag. Does it? Okay, then in the same sentence we have cost. Here I would like to highlight that cost is a non-regular verb in which three forms are the same and we don't have to confuse it with the verb costed, which means to budget. In Spanish, presupuestar. Presupuestar. Then the next sentence, we have got to visit this restaurant. We have got. Okay, here we use this structure followed by an infinitive when we talk about obligation or necessity. This structure with you is more common in spoken English. And next we have, it is undoubtedly the best one I have ever been to. Okay, here we have an anticipatory it. This construction is followed by a dot clause, but in some cases, the dot clause may be omitted because it acts as the object of the sentence. Here we don't have it because it acts as the object. Then we have in the same sentence undoubtedly, the adverb undoubtedly. It is an adverb formed from the adjective doubtful, and in English, adverbs are often formed by adding li to adjectives, undoubtedly. Then we have the present perfect, I've ever been to. The present perfect tense indicates an action or a state that started in the past and continues to the present. And here I would like to highlight that ever is used to mean at any time up to now. And then to and so, sorry. Those are often used to omit subordinate clauses when the information is clear in the context, as in these two sentences that we are going to see. Although it might seem strange to Spaniards, in English a preposition can appear in an exposed position, that is without a following complement, as I have ever been to, and then it stops, or at least I think so, and it stops. I think so, stops. And then we have the verb think, which is the last thing we are going to see in the sentence. The verb think. Think can be used as a stative verb or as a dynamic one. Here acts as a stative verb because it expresses a mental state. And then we're gonna see the third sentence. Here we have it. So everybody was quite surprised because all the guests were supposed to be there already. When she entered the room, all of a sudden, without knocking on the door, plenty of people were shocked. Had you asked me, I could have been speechless too. I last had seen that woman 20 years ago. Okay, so to begin with, we have the first sentence. Everybody was quite surprised. Here, the adverb quite can have different meanings, as slightly less than very, absolutely, or not very. In this case, it indicates that the level of surprise was significant but not extreme. Note that quite can modify adjectives, adverbs, and even nouns. Then we have in the same sentence, because all the guests were surprised to be there already. Here we have a reason clause, which is introduced by because and typically follows the main clause. Everybody was quite surprised. It can often appear in passive voice. Then we have the adverb already, which it normally goes in mid position, but placing it at the end implies emphasis. Here, if we put it at the end, we want to emphasize that the guests were supposed to be there, and they aren't there. Then we have in the next sentence, when she entered the room, all of a sudden, without knocking on the door, the first verb we have here is enter and is in past simple. And then the other one, which is at the end of the sentence, plenty of people were shocked. Where here both verbs are in past simple tense, as they follow a chronological order. First they enter the room, then the people were shocked. Also, I want to highlight that the verb enter is a transitive verb in English and does not require a preposition as it does in Spanish. So we say enter the room, and in Spanish we say entrar al cuarto, usando una preposición, using a preposition. Then we have without knocking. Not without knocking. After a preposition, here in English we use ing form, whereas in Spanish we use infinitive. Sin tocar, which is infinitive. Here we use without knocking, with ing. Also, as I previously said, knock comes from an onomatopoeia of knocking the door. Then, the last sentence, we can see, had you asked me. Here, it seems like an if conditional, but it is, but it's not. So the thing it's a more formal way of expressing conditional without if. But the same is the continuum of the sentence is the same. Then the last sentence we have here, I last had seen that woman 20 years ago. The adverb last, as I mentioned earlier, it is an adverb meaning for the last time. And then the last word in this phrase, in this sentence, is ago. Also note that ago is always used with the past tense, as here, had seen. And now we're gonna see the fourth sentence, which is here. So, there were very strong winds during the winter, and every window glass inevitably ended up breaking. We got them repaired more than once, of course, but nobody would be able to live like that for too long, could they? Although the weather was supposed to change for the better soon, it didn't. Okay, so to begin with, we have very strong. Here, the adverb very, it always modifies adjectives or past participles, adding as adjective. Then, in the same sentence, during. This preposition refers to a time frame, and it answers the question when. Then, the winter and every window glass inevitably. Inevitably, this adverb is formed from the adjective inevitable by adding li to make it an adverb, inevitably. Then we have ended. The past of the verb end, the ed ending in this case after d is pronounced like this, ended. Now, at the end of the sentence, we have breaking. The verb break, when this verb is used intransitively, the subject is the same as the object of their transitive use, as in these examples. Every window glass ended up breaking, and the strong winds ended up breaking every window glass. Now, the next sentence, we got them repaired more than once. The verb get is used in this case with the meaning of become, indicating that the agent of an action or process is unknown or obvious. Also, I would like to highlight that it's very common in colloquial English, and we also have to be reminded that note that this is a typical causative construction where the subject we do not perform the action but cause or arrange for it to be done by someone else. We got them prepared. Okay, now we have more than once. Once. Here, just I would like to say that when we talk about frequency, we have to use the adverb once, which is one time. Now we have, of course, but nobody would be able, be able to, be able to. It is a substitute for the modal can, and we use it because modals like good cannot occur with each other. It is due to in the same sentence we have good and be able to, so here we cannot use can. Okay, then live like that. Like. I would like to say that the preposition like is followed by a noun phrase and indicates similarity. And following like, we have that for too long. For the preposition for, it answers the question how long and not when. It's when, it's during, then for how long. Then for too long. The adverb too. This adverb of degree indicates excess and modifies adjectives and adverbs. Now we have the affirmative question tags with which I have previously said. Good day. As I previously mentioned, sentences containing negative words like nobody require affirmative question tags. Good day. And also, I would like to say that good, this modal is also used to say that somebody was able or not to do something on a particular occasion. And also, you have to know that good is used in its own to avoid the repetition of all the sentence. So we can use just good and it's okay. And then after the question mark, we have although the weather was supposed to change for the better soon, it didn't. Here we have a concession clause, which shows contrast that the weather was going to change, but at the end it didn't. And finally, we have the last one, the fifth one, which is I have been reading all my life. In fact, I have read over 1,000 books so far. I must take up another hobby. You know, I sometimes don't dare tell other people about my fashion for fear they might consider me a freak. I'm told fishing can be far more fun than you might think. I need to try it. Okay, so to begin with, we have the sentence I have been reading all my life. Here, as you can see, we have a present perfect progressive because it indicates that the action still goes on. You are still reading. Then the next sentence, I have read over 1,000 books so far. Here I would like to highlight that the verb read, as you know, it is an irregular verb in which all three forms are the same, but its pronunciation changes from read, which is the base form in the present, to read, which is in past simple or in past participle. Then I must take up another hobby. Here, as you can see, we have the phrasal verb take up, and I would like to say that if there is a phrasal verb with a noun phrase as an object, the noun phrase can go before or after the verb. Here it goes after the verb, another hobby. Now, I sometimes don't dare tell other people. Don't dare. This modal verb, there, acts as a modal verb because it is followed by a verb infinitive and is not a full verb because it's not followed by 2 plus infinitive. And then the one that is following, tell. This verb is normally followed by two objects, but always by a direct object. Tell someone, and then tell someone something, but always tell someone. Okay. Then In the same sentence, other people about my patience for fear. For fear. This expression is used to express negative purpose. And if we want to use constructions like in order that or so that, the verb requires a negative form. Now we have the modal verb in the same sentence. They might consider me a freak. And also at the end, you might think. Here both are modal verb and are modal verbs, and this modal verb expresses remote possibility of a present, of future. And also you have to bear in mind that may suggests a stronger probability than might. And then for finishing, we have an indirect passive construction, which is I'm told fishing. It can be far more fun. I'm told fishing. I'm told fishing is an indirect passive construction of the transitive verb tell, where the indirect object of the active structure becomes the subject. And also, it is a reported speech sentence, which introduces a statement and it can be followed by a that clause in which that can be omitted, as here. And we have we have finished. That's all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for everything, and I hope you like it. See you next time. Thank you. We